My name's Sonia Gibbs, and just by being myself, I've ended up in a lot of rooms where I was the only one who looked like me. I went to a predominantly white, exempted village school at the top of the hill, upper middle class people, and when I say predominantly white, I mean it. I was one of 7 black kids that graduated in my class. I achieved honors in high school at good GPA, got magna cum laude in Latin, and the only reason I'm sharing this honestly is because I was the only black person on the list of 3.5 and above GPAs, and also the only black person at the ceremony when I accepted my certificate for Latin. Awkward. I was also on the academic team in chess club, guess what? The only black person, also one of the only girls, and despite all of my achievements, I did not fit in at all. I actually stuck out very much. I was far from poor, and my mom did everything she could to give me and my brother a good life. But being in that type of environment, I just couldn't help but notice the differences between me and what seemed like everybody else. I don't know if it was my queerness or my blackness or my middle classness, but I just felt so different. These exact same feelings haunt our main character, Jay Nelson. Jay is the epitome of young, black, and gifted, but he doesn't really fit in anywhere at school or at home. Half of Jay's family is poor, and the other half is wealthy. And although Jay lives on the upper side, this fact alone puts him at an outsider position at the private school he attends, where half-lows are often teased for their mixed status. At home, Jay hears a lot of his family's unsettling opinions about their lower counterparts, leaving him confused, ashamed, and resentful. Jay feels the most at home when he's behind a computer screen typing commands into a terminal. He's a talented programmer, and he soon gets noticed by a group of rebel leaders in the movement of digital terrorism against the upper. He's torn, but as the war rages on, he's forced to pick a side. The only person he really feels can relate to him is his best friend, Olivia. Like him, she's a half-low, but she was born on the other side of the tracks. She's like if Jay was a tomboy and a lot cooler, and Latina. Upper is an ambitious show and seeks to provide answers to the questions, is capitalism good? Is capitalism always good? If not, where and when does it become bad? Should we strive to become rich as possible? Do we have a choice? Should the privileged share their privilege, or is it unfair, unnatural, and unrealistic? Can you be rich and ethical? Can wealth and poverty coexist right beside each other? And if so, for how long? Upper is based in the future 100 years from now, when the divide between rich and poor is bigger. The advancement of technology and artificial intelligence has led most people to live with outdated machines, working in low-wage jobs in dangerous conditions if they can get a job at all, while the wealthy live high-tech, autonomous glam lives of comfort and convenience, all within a stone's throw of each other. There's a lot of prejudice, animosity, and distrust between the classes, catalyzing the insurgence of socio-political leaders on both sides who come to rise as enemies to the rebels. For the sake of not making this video an hour long, I'm not going to go into detail about the jobs, the cars, houses, neighborhoods, the daily lives, multiple episodes, etc. in this video, but there are more details about this world in the show Bible that I've attached with this video. I believe that this story is important to tell right now because there's a lot of talk about billionaires and millionaires and capitalism and if it's good or if it's bad. I think all of us have kind of been faced with that same question. I mean, everybody either wants to be a billionaire or a millionaire, or they detest billionaires and millionaires. And we'll probably be the first people in history to witness trillionaires. Technology is increasing the upper limits on everything across the board, especially wealth creation. We're seeing some of the biggest margins in history, and also the fastest accumulations of wealth anybody's ever seen. Alright, so that's it. My name's Sonia Gibbs, and that is my story concept for Uppers, an animated sci-fi dramedy. Something I also want to touch on is just the gender interchangeability of the name Jay. I kind of did that on purpose just in case. I felt like the main character could either be male or female, but I would want them to be queer, so I feel like that's a pretty safe name for either of those options. Just a cool touch.